Hello. In this video, I'm going to go over all the steps of turning a hard copy or a PDF of a document into something that your students can edit and manipulate digitally. This is meant to be a quick and simple tutorial. If you'd like something more detailed, I have a whole video series that I'll link for you, and I go into a lot more of the nitty-gritty and the steps of how to do this. So first, you'll start out with either a hard copy of the document or a PDF. If you have a hard copy, you're going to need to turn it into a PDF or an image. The easiest way to do that is to scan it with the school copier. Now, if you don't have access to the school copier, you can download the Adobe Scan app, and it will do it for you. Or you can take a picture of the document and you need to make sure it's straight. Try to make sure it's well lit. You're going to turn it black and white with your phone or iPad image editing tools, and then crop it as close to the edges as you can to make it as straight as possible. Now, once you have the PDF, then you need to make it into an image, and you can do that a few ways. The easiest is to take a screenshot of the PDF. Check out my video on this. If you do not know how to take a screenshot with your device, I go into several different devices. You can also go to a site like Small PDF and convert it. This is what Small PDF looks like. You just import your document, and then it would do that conversion for you. Now, once you have the image file of the document, or JPEG would be the type of file it would be called, you could put it into a slides, Google Slides. Now you're going to create a new slides or open one that you want to add it to. You're first going to change the size of the document to standard printer paper size, 8.5 by 11 inches. So to do that, you're going to go to File and then Page Setup. And then you're going to click the drop-down menu where it says widescreen, and then choose custom, and then put in your dimensions. If you want to do landscape, that would be 11 by 8.5. Now you're going to change the background of the slide to the image that you took of your PDF. So you're going to click the background button and then choose your image. Now remember, you cannot do this with a PDF. It has to be a JPEG or other image file. Now, once you've got the image in there, you can add text boxes where you want the kids to type. That's up in the toolbar there. It's the little T in the box. You have some formatting options. So if you want to make the box have a border or a background color, you choose that here. The text boxes are automatically transparent. So if you would like to make them not transparent, that's what you would do. Now you're ready to share on Google Classroom. So remember to make a copy for each student. You don't want them all editing the same one. Now, if you have a document that you need to use something like counters or something that's cut and paste, you can still do that in Google Slides. So here's an example of a handout that I turned digital that I wanted counters for. So I would search, I searched for a PNG of an apple, and a PNG doesn't have a background, so that's why I searched for that. Now notice here where the apple is in the thumbnail, it has a white background, but then when it's larger, it has that checkered background. That means it is a true PNG and it does not have a background. So I imported it, and then I duplicated it until I got how many I needed for one of my sections. So I made it, I duplicated it 9 times after I imported it. Now I use the arrange tool or function up in the toolbar to stack them. So I went to align and then center and middle, and I selected them all, and then went to align, center, middle, and I stacked them, and then I selected that whole group again and duplicated it. So here is what it looks like. And so each one of those is actually a stack of 10 that I use the align tool to, or the align option to stack. And so here you can see I'm doing, the kids could go in and just with their finger on an iPad or on the trackpad on their Chromebooks can do this fairly easily. So here's another example. This is cut and paste. So for cut and paste, you would import the document as a regular image after you change the background, and then you'd copy it and then crop out whatever you want the kids to paste. And so the crop tool is up there in the toolbar as well. It's kind of like the little two box corner things. And you'd click on that, and then you would make it, you crop it down into whatever shape you were using for that one, and then you would put that aside and then duplicate it again and then do it again. It seems tedious, but it's probably the same amount of time or less than if you were to cut all of these out yourself and make an example for your kids in hard copy form. So here I've pulled over the image again, I duplicated it again, and now I'm going to crop it one more time. I want that chopping wood down there in the corner, so I'm going to crop it one more time. And now I have all my images that the kids can then drag to my digraph sort. Now you can also create your own text boxes to have the kids label things. You can use the gray area around each slide to kind of store what you want them to utilize. Now remember though, if you print, what's in the gray area will not print, but it's useful for something like this where it's going to be completely digital and the kids can just click and drag those labels over to where they want them. Now, if you want the kids to draw, you can import your image into Jamboard, and they can use the pen tools to draw or highlight directly on the document, and you can add a Jamboard document to Classroom the same way that you'd add a slides or docs. So here I use the pen tool and I'm doing my grammar editing for this grammar worksheet that was a PDF that I changed to an image. And now I'm using just my trackpad on my computer to do it and complete the work. And so the kids could do this digitally in Jamboard. And again, you'd share it just as you would in Classroom. So, and that's it. A very quick overview of how to make a hard copy of a document or PDF editable for your students. Thank you.